Hi there again, everybody. Welcome back to Prestige Auctions, All Things Auction, the podcast. And this is another fantastic episode where me and Chris just sit and talk about auctions and buying and selling and stuff like
over
that.
a beer.
Well, yes. You've got a beer, but I ain't got a beer today. I'm on the Vimto today because I've still got a quote to do today, and I don't think it'd be right me turning up at somebody's house smelling a beer, which is not the way we conduct ourselves down here at Prestige. But what an auction that was, again, last Saturday. I know you was only there for a few hours this week because you had prior engagements at pubs and things, didn't you? And
Rugby League.
It was Rugby League. Oh, was that the Hull Kingston Rovers? Yeah. Did they win?
Yeah, it did last few minutes. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Came down to the last minute win again.
So, I was talking to a friend of mine in Hull about it. They'd been to see the parade or something. And I said, I said, my mate Chris keeps telling me I need to go to rugby and go watch a game.
Said I need to get you away from football and then to go down to Hull and watch a local derby or a rugby league game one evening.
I've got to say, I'm disillusioned with football.
Well, really, it is rubbish, isn't it?
I'm really disillusioned with football. I just think it's not what it used to be. Money's taken over. It's just anyway. Let's talk about auctions. All things auctions. The auction that was the one last week, the one that you was only there for a few hours for, but while you was there, it was a bit of a mixed bag, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. I got a few bits and pieces.
You did a bit of buying?
Yeah.
I bought a spud rumbler.
Well, they're sought after, they are.
I know. Although no one's bought it yet.
Well, I think there's an interested party, but I don't think his missus will allow him to have it.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, we obviously know who wears the trousers in that relationship, don't we?
Because every house needs a 6-foot industrial spud rumbler in the kitchen, doesn't it?
I was thinking that when he was saying about buying it. I was like, just imagine going home, Lisa walking into the kitchen and the spud rumbler bits on the side, facing into the sink.
Look what I've brought you.
I thought you were present, love.
It weren't even Valentine's Day.
Oh, she would not be impressed in the slightest. But there you go.
Still as good as I.
Yeah, so a spud rumbler in the kitchen at home. No, I don't think I'd get away with that. They're not that we would need a spud rumbler because we don't peel potatoes.
I get frozen chips.
We get frozen chips. I like frozen chips.
Yeah. Air fryer.
I don't use the air fryer. I must say I do them in the oven, but I ought to learn that. I really ought to learn how to use our air fryer more. But anyway, back to the auctions first. We'll come to air fryers and whatever in a bit. But the auction last week, because to me there was one real standout moment at that auction. That was the car. At 4,600 for that Honda. Still in theory a bargain. It booked at nearly 7 on that mileage. It's in good nick. Yeah, it had a few paint scratches and stuff like that, but there was nothing there that was too major, was there, to get sorted out?
Good valet.
And I just thought, well, at 4.6 plus the commission, still a relatively cheaper car with low mileage, which you don't see in auction that often. Most people are usually chucking cars in auction.
If you were selling it
rid of them.
Couple of £1,000 profit in it, isn't there?
Yeah, there's still money to be made, although I didn't really get to speak to the customer and find out what his intentions were, but not that it matters. But yeah, so that was kind of the standout piece. There wasn't much jewellery, of course, last week, and of course the thing about last week was all of those tools getting withdrawn, which I've just got to say something on this about the way some people conducted themselves to Lisa.
I was there for the first one that came in the morning. I saw it myself.
In the office. People getting rather upset that they'd come down to look at these tools and that they weren't there. Yeah, getting angry at people at Prestige is not the answer, because we don't control what people do with their goods in the auction.
No. It was a bigger hassle for us than anybody.
It caused us a world of problems for the week. Problems that we can do well without. We're busy enough as it is without having problems like that chucked at us. But I understand, the two parties that were having a debate about ownership and whatever else it may have been. I hope that they've got it sorted, and I hope that the right decision was made in the end. But ultimately, we kind of sit in the middle of that. But to actually come in and give our staff and Lisa and all the rest of it grief about, where are they? Well, but they went out on the sneak peek, but they weren't there on the catalogue. So when the catalogue goes out, I mean, I would say to everyone, the catalogue is what's important. You do get the odd thing withdrawn, but it's not usually an amount like that. But just be respectful, everybody. We try to be respectful to people. It's not our fault. And the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand with auctions, and we've said it again and again, we don't own the items. The items belong to somebody else. We sell on behalf of. So, if you want to, get upset about things, then please don't do it with us, because it's not our fault.
We got grief from coming in, and then we got grief from not being there.
I know. It was a bit of a nightmare, that one. But there you go. That one's done and dusted, and like I say, hopefully all the parties are happy with that one now. But I think what else was there in the auction last week? Do you know what? There was interesting to me, and obviously you weren't there at this point, but furniture. A lot of the furniture sold. Granted, not at great money. And we've been hit with something new this week, and this is something worth listening to, everybody. The tip yards now. So I mean, as if I moan enough about the price of tipping. The tip yards now have hit us with a pop tax, which is like a polystyrene and they call it like a foam tax, if you like. And you've got a list this long now of various things that you were going to be surcharged on top of the surcharges they already have.
Right.
So you're going to be charged, don't quote me on the prices, but I think it's now about £45 for a settee on top of the tipping charge. £25 for chairs to tip. Blinds, even blinds that have got foam in will be covered. Even dining chairs with the foam bit on the top, mattresses, you name it. It's going to be an absolute fortune, to the point that I was already out on a quote this morning talking to a person in the house that had some of the problem pieces. Yeah. And I'm explaining, look, if we don't think they're going to sell, take them to the tip yourself.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if not,
because you'll not get charged for that as a private household, will you? No, it's just
if we have to tip it, it's going to cost you a fortune because we're commercial. And
so if you get that wrong a couple of times, potential of it costing you a lot of money it's easy done, isn't it?
£45 or £55 for a fridge freezer now.
Wow.
It really is. It is going above and beyond now. It's just,
So we're going to, obviously not us, but we're going to see a lot more fly tipping from today onwards.
Of course, because the thing is, when people ring up clearance businesses like the Prestige Clearance, and we say, well, how much is it to tip a very, very sweet? 150 quid. Now, work that out. In fact, no, it's got to be more, because you're looking at £45 and £25 extra chairs. There's £95 just in tipping, plus VAT. So it's 115 or something like that. Plus you've got to be paid to do the job. So you're looking at 160 quid to get rid of the suite. Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy.
And of course the average punter is going to think you're making a fortune out of that.
Yeah, so all I say to people now is just bring the yards up and ask. They'll tell you. It's expensive. Can't get away from it. But it is what it is. Anyway, did you have any salads this week with fruit on?
None whatsoever.
Don't blame you.
I avoided that.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
Just a meat fest.
Tell you where I went yesterday for the first time. Landmark.
Where?
Landmark Cafe, I think it's called. It's on the Lincolnshire Wolds.
Right.
Up sort of out through Ashby-cum-Fenby, just past there. And this Landmark Cafe, what a great place. Decent-ish food. We went for the breakfast, and the view is unreal. You view over the top, it's sort of on a hill, and you look over, you can see the dock tower in the distance and everything. Yeah, it's really, really quite cool, I thought.
Because that's always strange when you come back in from Caister, innit, and you can see the dock tower from miles away on that long straight road.
Yeah, well, the dock tower from the Landmark looks about that big. But it was nice to be able to see that. So yeah, I'd recommend.
Is it one of them bikers cafes?
Well, there was not funny, but the cyclists, the mammals. Is it the mammals they call them? Something like that. Middle-aged men wearing lycra or something, or whatever it's called. Anyway,
a bit weird, isn't it?
Anyway, two of them come in with all the gear on and that, and as they came around the corner, it's like a gravel thing, and he put his brake on and he nearly lost it. He was so close.
And the crowd went wild.
It was like that. Ooh. But no, well worth a visit, that place. You know, I like to promote other local businesses, and they are reasonably local. So yeah, get yourself out there. I won't say it's super cheap. It's not super cheap.
Nowhere is now.
You know, but it was okay. Beans were a bit lukewarm. Everything else was great. Sausages were banging.
Did you have black pudding?
No, didn't have black pudding. Didn't see it as an option, to be fair.
It's not breakfast without black pudding.
Well, no. I would say it's not a breakfast with black pudding.
No. Black pudding, Og's pudding.
Oh, God. What else do you eat in Yorkshire?
That's Cornish, that.
What, black pudding?
Og's pudding. West Country, that is.
Oof. What's that then?
It's got to be something snout or trotters or face all mangled up in it.
Just wrong, aren't you? All of you just wrong. Anyway, it says pudding. Does that mean strawberries on a salad?
It's perfect with a pint of Guinness for breakfast.
I was round at my son's yesterday, and he gave me a can of some IPA. And normally I don't sort of drink men's beer, and it was all right. I quite enjoyed it.
So you're going off football, you're drinking men's beer. You'll be watching rugby soon.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I just...
growing up, we're getting to that point.
So we didn't do this week, which we wanted to try and do. We was going to, of course, try and do a boot sale, wasn't we? With the Not Soul's boot sale.
And it turned out that it didn't rain on Sunday morning.
I know. But the field would have still been quite boggy, I think.
There was hardly anybody at the Pennells one on the Saturday.
Well, the Don came in on Sunday and told me he'd been at Emswell and said that one of the best days he's had for a while, because hardly anyone turned up for sellers, but there was loads of buyers.
Right.
So he sold lots of his stuff. So the Don was quite happy there. And but of course we're going to try and do it for this Sunday. Is Sunday an option for you?
Yeah.
So we're going to
try. The forecast is better as well.
Yeah, we're going to try and do it for this Sunday, but we're going to do Morrison's, aren't we?
Yeah.
So if you are watching this on Friday night, if the weather forecast is good on Sunday, come and support us buy some of our crap. Sorry, quality stuff, because we need to get that music license put together. We need £800, £800. Oh, it's disgusting, isn't it? But I'm going to chuck quite a few bits in.
You think we'll do it in 1 hit?
I don't know. If these people support us, we will. Mm-hmm. So get yourself to Morrison's boot sale this Sunday, and it should be, by all accounts, it should be me, Chris, and Lisa. Is Kimbo off or on?
She says she will do, but she's not going to join us at 5 o'clock in the morning. It might be around about 10:30.
That's
all they're sold out by then.
So. Is that sort of that old thing? It's sort of half a person, half a day.
That might be early.
That's me getting a swift headbutt, isn't it?
Just wait while she stands the auction in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, I can't say so. I love Kim. She's ace.
You're going to get in trouble in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can't say it then. Neither can you. Well,
but we're up there.
Yeah, we're kind of protected up there.
Yeah, we're hard to get at.
But
it's not a very good shot either.
Do you know, I haven't done a boot sale for years. I mean, years and years and years and years.
It's probably 4 or 5 years since I've done one.
Got to get a table. So anyway, yesterday in the auction, because we're setting up tables ready to bring the fag cards and everything for the specialist, because it's viewing. It would have been viewing today that you'd have seen.
It's weird doing a podcast only 48 hours after the last one.
I know, it's weird. Yeah. Lisa said to me, she went, all these tables you bought in the auction over the last couple of weeks are all broke. 3 of them. So I goes in there, puts them all together properly. They're all fine.
Right.
It was Lisa's mentality of, I don't know how that goes, so it's broke. So then turns that into a way of having to go at me for wasting money.
For buying it.
And I'm like... Anyway, we've managed to get them up. It's and of course, if you are watching this on the Friday, yeah, of course, you've got the auction at Prestige tomorrow on Saturday, but also you've got 2 great days auctions, Wednesday and Thursday next week, which Chris is so looking forward to these 2-day auction of coins. Hang on. So right, coins, look at the face, jewellery, alcohol. Look, it's so easy. Alcohol. 160 odd lots of alcohol.
You'll need it to get through the coins.
But I mean, I forgot, because obviously we've been working on this one so long. I actually forgot some of the things that was on there, and it's not just all coins. Day one, there's some military bits and bobs. There's some brooches. There's some notes. There's some old checks. There's all sorts of bits and bobs. Really nice old camera thing, and just some interesting bits and bobs. I think at the start I was probably trying to make it a little bit more interesting before we went on to the masses of coins. And then, of course, after the coins, we then finish up on the alcohol for day one.
You will.
Day 2, jewellery, followed by cigarette cards. He's gone again. We might chuck a couple of bottles of alcohol in. Hey.
It's not enough. There's not enough booze in there to get through the coins.
No, it's never been your thing, has it?
No.
Never been your thing. I mean,
fair play to people who do it, because they know it inside out.
The thing is, it's one of them, I can't stop yawning today. I think I need to get some sleep. I think it's because I worked so hard.
Today?
Yeah.
Crikey. Must have missed that bit.
I see you on your hands and knees earlier.
Really?
Sorting your tool out. Was you not?
That's what happens when it drags on the floor.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools, isn't there? There's a lot of tools. I've just done the sneak peek video just now, walking through there. I'm like, oh my God. There is a lot of tools in there.
There's got to be probably 500 lots in that tool room.
The thing is, it's interesting for you, isn't it? Because you're big on selling tools. And you know, as much as I like to go on about jewellery and coins and stuff like that, because I find them sort of easy hits, easy to make money on, if you can buy right, of course. But you do exactly the same thing with tools, and I quite admire that, because not only do you buy and sell tools, you also do them up. You make them look better, don't you? You know, it's not just a case of dragging them out of the box at the auction.
Yeah, they all take a bit of work. Yeah,
and chucking them in the bloody the stall at Emswell or whatever. You know, you've got to put a little bit of work in, because when you walk around places like Emswell or any sales centre for that matter, you look and you think, the amount of people that... Do you think you can spend too much time on them, doing them up?
On tools?
Yeah. I mean, for instance, if you walk in Canberra at Emswell, walk straight down, walk in through the door, walk straight down, and then before you hit the wall at the end, look left. There's some cabinets with tools on.
And
they're absolutely gleaming. They don't look like tools. They look like collector's pieces, but they are just tools.
They're all fully restored there. Handles all oiled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a bit too far?
Yeah.
Do you think that the average man or woman, whatever, or both, that goes into one of these places is looking for a tool that they can use?
Tool they can use, but they're also looking for something that they can tidy up themselves. I think they'd rather buy a box of stuff for themselves to do up. It's mainly the blokes in at the ground. And
well, we've had conversations about man sheds and man garages in the past, haven't we? Where people just...
They're buying on price.
Yeah, they're just buying because it's cheap.
Yeah.
I'll buy it because it's cheap. I mean, this is the thing with auctions. You know, when it comes to auctions, you've got to remember, and you've got to remember this when you're putting things into auction as well, that it's kind of a bargain basement. You know, the amount of people that come to us and say, I'm doing a boot sale on Sunday, can I book in for Monday? No, you can't. I'll say it straight away, because if you can't sell it there, there's no point bringing it to us and wasting our time and your lotting fees and all that, because
it's not a dumping ground, is it?
No, I mean, you want people to you want people to have a chance of being able to buy something, but you also want the vendor to make some money as well. You know, that's the way it's got to be. And as I say, I mean, I view that many properties and look at that much stuff that I'll certainly never ever get picky, because I don't think that's what we stand for at Prestige. But when somebody does tell you they've tried selling it elsewhere, then it does start the alarm bells ringing. Well, hang on. If you try selling it elsewhere, it's going to be hard to sell.
It's not the right place for the last resort, is it?
No. I mean, we all know that when decent stuff comes into the auction room, it sells really well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at that car last week, 4,600. You put a banger in there, 200 quid struggling for.
Yeah.
Because people can recognise what's good and what's not. And you know, as much as I want to get pounds and pounds for everything, it's never always going to happen.
This is the thing, and it's a conversation I've just had with eBay of a non-payer. So when a non-payer, obviously they don't pay for it, they've won it, they've bid for it, and it's made that money. It's had 10 bidders, 20 watchers, and you've got to relist it. It doesn't make that money second time around.
No.
So if somebody's had something on Facebook for 6 weeks for sale, and then they put it into the auction, everybody knows it's been on Facebook and aren't sold.
It's almost the reverse of what we talked about before, where people would get something unusual, advertise it on eBay for 200 quid, get the friend to buy it now.
Yeah.
When people see, they recognise it and go, oh, that's unusual, and they look on eBay, there's one sold at £200.
Turn it green. Yeah.
Yeah, turn it green. Yeah, I quite like that. That's turn it green, and then all of a sudden they go, "Wait, it actually sold." Look, although the sale probably never went through.
Yeah,
because they cancelled the order or whatever, but it still sits there.
That's a proper Lovejoy move, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's quite a nasty thing to do, but
we've all done it.
But yeah, there are things in this trade that, you know, people will get caught with the pants down if they're not careful.
Yeah,
but
you can't put it in as a last resort once everybody in the area's seen it and expect them to have a bun fight for it.
No.
If it comes in fresh, it'll do all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's... have you looked at the catalogue for the special sale?
No.
Did you... I don't know if you've seen it on the table in there.
I've seen
the Lancaster stuff.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a lot.
That's the end of the second day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the last lot of day two, and just what a load of great stuff. You know, all the log books from the flights. He didn't just. It was a navigator, I believe. He wasn't just in Lancasters. He did all sorts, but he went right through the war years.
Because that's going to be on the lead up to the Armed Forces Day as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Armed Forces Day coming up at Claythorpe's. Although I've got to say, I looked at the itinerary and it's not
sort of very inspiring.
It's not amazing, is it? I mean, it's a shame really that Claythorpe's kind of lost the air show, because the air shows. I mean, I'm going to go back to David Cameron as PM. He just lost the Brexit vote, and he had to come and stand at Claythorpe's, and because we had the National Armed Forces Day
it was
here,
biggie, wasn't it?
And I've got to say, in all my years on this earth, I have never seen Claythorpe's that busy. Did you go down? It was heaving, wasn't it? Everywhere you looked was just a sea of people. The closest I see Claythorpe's that busy, believe it or not, was Party on the Pier, when they had Billy Piper and Five and all the rest of them playing at the top of the pier. And it was a free show and everyone was on the beach and around. It was just like a sea of people then. But not as busy as that Armed Forces Day. That Armed Forces Day was absolutely...
They had something all the way on the north and the south, didn't they?
Yeah.
The car parks up at the top were full of...
Well, that's it. I mean, they actually closed all the car parks, didn't they?
Yeah.
And to put, you know, stands and stalls on and army stuff. And it was just fantastic. I hope we can get it again, the national one. There is been some talk about it.
Is it in Scarborough, the national one?
I don't know.
Or do they change it every...
Change it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it somebody different. Well, those that do it, I mean, not everybody does the Armed Forces Day, so it's one of those. Oh, well, you're on it again.
And you've got a double shift to do, yeah?
I know, yeah, we've got a long day today, so, and I've got another 1, 2, 3 videos to do after this. I've got about 1,500 photos to take, and I've got to go and do a quote in Broughton as well. So out there scunny.
Yeah.
So it's what it is.
Yeah.
It's all part of being an auctioneer and running a family-run business like we do. You know, there's not a member of staff for every job, is there? You
No,
know that.
there's no signs of anything slowing down, is there?
No, I mean the auction room is busy. The stuff that's coming through is interesting, and
We're at full capacity, aren't we?
yeah, I mean, here's one for you. I'm hearing on the grapevine from several of our customers that the other auction room in the town is going card only.
Really?
To that, yeah, card only. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true. Maybe somebody can tell me. But I've heard that they're going card only. I'm just a bit lost with that.
That's not worked out well for people who've done that so far, has it?
No, I think you're taking away, and I don't just want to say about them. I'm talking about any of these shops and businesses that have gone card only, taking that freedom of choice away. I know Lisa's been in several situations. Our first one that I remember was on King's Cross Station, travelling back to Claythorpes from a day out or a couple of days away, and she'd got a real problem with her foot. You know, you sort of got your shoes start cutting into you. So she wanted to buy some quality socks, and there's like a sock place on there. And she goes in, and it was like 2 pairs of socks for 45 quid that she was going to pay, which is ridiculous anyway. So she pulls the notes out, and the woman says, "I'm sorry, we're card only." And Lisa just went, "I have got no card with me." She went, "And I can't save you. Put the socks back."
But look at Marks and Spencer's. They couldn't trade, could they? Last month, because the
Yeah, when the card machine systems went down,
yeah,
they was then saying to everyone, "Go and get cash." Well, of course, there aren't many cash machines left now. I just, I don't want to single out that other business, but sort of any businesses that are going, I know it takes away risk. I know it takes away risk of being stolen off, but it doesn't, because let's face it,
we've dealt with that for years.
yeah, but let's face it, right? So, the person that's skimming the till, okay, all they're going to do is say to one of the friends, right, what's your bill? 100 quid, right, well, I'll put 25 quid into the machine, you pay that, and then just give me another 50 in cash. There you go. Way round it, straight away. And, that's a problem straight away. But also, I think anybody knows, especially in the auction industry, the second-hand industry and all the rest of it, there are a lot of people that only deal in cash. And I'm not talking about big hitters, them days have gone. I'm talking about, the people, the older people that still go to the post office every Friday and say, "Can I have it all?"
Yeah.
You hear it in the queue, don't
Yeah.
you? "I'll have it all, please." They count out 200 or 300 quid in £10 notes, £20 notes, whatever. They pop it in the purse and off they go. And that's because they've got used to it all the way through their life. That's what they do. They don't want to tap a card or a phone or anything else. And of course, the other thing is as well, like you've said, what if them systems go down?
And they are. It's not unusual, is it, for the internet to go down or there to be a connection problem on the machine?
I think it's just a.
So that's your only option.
I think it's a brave move, a very brave move, because I think you're taking away freedom of choice from people, and also let's not forget this other thing. You are making the banks richer. Every time they tap, every time they insert a card, it's costing that small business money. Yeah, it might not be huge amounts, but I can tell you now, it costs us thousands of pounds a year to operate a card machine. Thousands of pounds. And just for all them little taps. The thing is now, the kids are coming up and I'll have a Mars bar, please. That's 80 pence. Tap. And again, you might only making 5p on that transaction. All of a sudden, you're only making 2p now because you've got your transaction charge, your percentage charge. And
the bank's having more than you are for the sale.
And the other thing as well, Chris, with an auction, remember, an auction is only making a percentage of the sale price. So when a sale price is quite high, if somebody uses a card, then you're losing part of your commission straight away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the other thing is as well, there's lots of scams going on with cards as well, especially around credit cards, to the point that this sale that we're doing on Wednesday and Thursday next week, because there's some higher value items in it, it is bank payment only.
Cut out any chance of frauds.
Yeah, cut out frauds. So, we've actually put it in the terms and conditions for the auction. It's bank payment only, or you can come and pay cash.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Because we, as a business, as a small business, you've got to protect yourself as well. So, anyway, let us know what you think on that one.
Surely you're cutting your customer base down by insisting on card.
Well, I do, but it'd be interesting to listen to other people's thoughts on this. It's because some people are all for it. We should be a cashless society. So here's this week's question: should we be a cashless society? I don't think we should, and I don't think we ever will be, because ultimately people will go backwards. Whereas they never used to have cards, but they always had money. But before money, they used to trade, and if you completely take money away, people will go back to trading.
I'm sure there's some figures for trading last year which said that there was an increase in cash, not a decrease in it.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a fight back against it. People are using.
Well, I think there needs to be. I think we need. I just think you'd lose by losing cash. You'd lose a lot of things.
Yeah.
That treating your grandkids. I mean, do you want to treat your grandkids by doing them a bank transfer? It don't feel the same. Treating a taxi driver. A couple of years ago, me and Lacey was in London again. So we go to London a bit, and we got in this taxi, and I said to the taxi driver straight away, I went, "You all right with cash?" He went, "Am I all right with cash, governor? I love a bit of cash." And
you don't come to the auction, does it?
No,
this is all here on a Saturday.
But that was my point. He was buzzing. He got a bit of cash, and because everyone was just tapping their phones and everything, and I was just like, you're going to take so much away. Tipping the paper boy at Christmas, or giving the postwoman something, or whatever. There's so many things. Boot sales. I mean, what are you going to do? Go to a boot sale and stand there with a card machine?
Some people are already there, aren't they?
Are they really? I don't know. So I've not been to a boot sale for years.
No, I've been to the one. Well, I've been to 2 or 3 of them locally, and you get like your hardened little OAPs that are there with like pots of jam and stuff and things that they sell, and they go to every boot sale there is. I see them there fetching that little iSettle card payment machine out. So they're using electronic payments at car boot sales.
Wow, I bet there's not a lot out.
It doesn't seem right.
I bet there's not a lot out though. And the other thing is as well, and it's not something that we do in particular, but the old-fashioned, because we all remember this back in the day. Mate, I need a wall building. Yeah, how much? It's 800 quid, mate. How much for cash?
Yeah.
That was it. And you got a bit of a discount, didn't you? Got a bit of a discount, and and it was, but I would suppose they call that VAT fraud. See, the thing is, as a business at Prestige, we won't do that. And believe me, we have been asked, by customers that put certain things in. They'll say, well, how can I get away without paying the VAT? Well, you can't.
No, because it's filmed every week.
We're a VAT registered business. You've got to pay VAT. So we don't want to break the rules, but I do get why people do try it on. If you're using a VAT registered business, a tradesman or whatever, there's more chance you're going to get a deal than in an auction room, because we can't or wouldn't do anything like that. VAT's just part of the thing. So here's another thing. Just while we're talking about VAT, because we love talking about tax, don't we? I'm sure I've mentioned this once before, but when we collect VAT in as a business, we are collecting VAT in under basically for HMRC. HM Revenue and Customs. They are saying to you, you're a VAT registered business, so you have got to collect that VAT in for us on top of everything that you sell or your commission. Okay, no problem. So Lisa keeps that in a separate account, and we pay it to the VAT man. I think it's every 3 months for each business, something like that, and they get a lot of money, to be fair. But when businesses go bust with a massive VAT bill, who gave them permission to spend the VAT?
It's not cash flow, is it?
No, you had VAT in that was never part of your figures,
Yeah.
yet you went bust with it. How does that work?
Yeah, if they've used that to bankroll the business, that was the only reason there isn't.
I just find it quite...
But they all do it. But they always go on a big holiday before they do it, don't they?
the thing with VAT, I've always said, VAT, being part of the VAT club, as I call it, is almost like it's like you're in a little exclusive club. It's like the VAT man comes up to you and he puts his arm around you and he goes, come on. If you take 20% of everything that you take on top, it's not costing you out.
That's mine.
Yeah, and then give that to me, all right? I'll tell you what I'll do. Every time you pay VAT and give it to somebody else to give to me, you can have that back. It's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about that big, isn't it?
Yeah, and then of course then he goes, squeezes a bit tighter and goes, but you're an auction room, aren't you? So you don't really claim much back, do you? So you're going to be giving me a lot more.
Yeah.
And we do. I mean, thousands and thousands of pounds in VAT collected. What do we claim back on? Bit of fuel, bit of tipping. Not a lot, really.
Yeah, it's like a service industry, isn't it? There's nothing much to claim back.
Whereas other businesses I've seen in the past have kind of
equalised it.
Yeah, they kind of make it their task that it's level.
Yeah.
Every month.
Yeah.
And we never get that. We just pay loads. But it is what it is. You know, we agree to the rules. Just talking about things that don't seem right, though. So I got a news flash through on my phone earlier. Seems that Rachel Reeves is now giving some of the pensioners a winter fuel payment.
What, in summer?
But only a few of them. Don't know which ones. So so this I haven't seen the list yet of who's actually getting it, but I think it's going to be means tested or something. But that's
there's no means testing for giving kids breakfast.
Well,
so if your kids are the kids of millionaires, they still get free breakfast.
Do all kids get free breakfast at school now? Then
sounds like it. Yeah, it's not means tested.
When I was at school, right, my mum and dad didn't have much money, and I was one of the free school dinner kids, right? And at Lindsay Lower School, you used to have to go and queue to get a ticket, right? And you had to queue in the morning or whatever, morning break or whatever. So, as a free school meal kid, you was victimised because you was in the paupers queue. Yeah.
So everybody could see you queuing up.
You'd get your ticket. Yeah. You'd have to look after that ticket till dinner.
Yeah.
And then you have to, when you got down to the tills, because it was like a cafeteria system, you would pick what you was allowed as the poor kids and give them the ticket. So he was kind of singled out a little bit. These days they just seem to give them everything.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, I don't understand the breakfast club that's not means tested, because the whole argument for winter fuel payment was because they couldn't afford it. So they had to means test people who might not need it. That don't make much sense.
The thing is, Chris, I'm going to be honest with you.
And it was the harshest winter that there's been in years, and they knew it was going to be, because the farmers knew it was going to be a hard winter, because the long range weather forecast, which the farmers use, said that's what it was going to be.
We might disagree on this, I don't know, but I'll put it out there anyway, and we'll put it out there for people to debate in the comments as well. Do you believe in means testing?
Not really.
You see, I do.
I think if they've paid the tax in, then if you've paid in more than other people, it's this trickle down thing, though, isn't it? Like a millionaire.
This is my point.
Pays lots of tax, maybe not directly because of tax avoidance schemes. But if a millionaire's got like a big lifestyle, everything's got VAT on it. So indirectly, they're paying massive amounts of tax. If they're going to buy a 70 grand Tesla, whatever it is 15 grand worth of VAT on it. So they'll pay more tax in one hit than most people
of course,
will ever pay.
usually the richer people are usually the wealth creators as well. So they employ people, which creates tax and all the rest
indirect
of it.
tax.
So yes, I mean they are all taxpayers, but I don't know. I think that when it comes to things like, dare I say, the NHS, school meals, winter fuel payments, should the government really be giving £500 somebody that's got $3 million in the bank? It's a tricky one, isn't it?
It is, because they've generated a lot of that money for them. It's getting a little bit, and it's only a little to them. It's only a little tiny bit back.
Yeah.
If they could choose not to have it.
Yeah, they can choose not to have it. But if you show me anyone that's rich that chooses not to have money,
it doesn't work that way, does it?
I don't know. I think it's one that would generate a lot of debate.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree or not. I mean, I'll be honest. If I came out of work, would I go and claim benefits?
But what's happening to all the millionaires in the UK at the minute?
They're all leaving.
They're all leaving because they're not getting anything back.
No.
All they're doing is paying. I mean, it's not a problem I'm going to have, but they're all leaving en masse.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting these little tiny bits back.
No, I mean you've got to. I think you've got to be very, very careful. The difference between, just rich people and wealth creators, because a lot of the rich people are wealth creators, and without them, you've got no employment.
No.
And it's all right. People want to just have a pop at the rich all the time, but when you look at how much they actually pay in tax, and actually money of their own that they invest into society for other people to pay tax. I think it's all very. I think it's all quite tricky, to be fair.
Well, if they don't invest it here because they're not getting little bits and pieces back, they'll invest it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's the choice, isn't it? Either scare them away or keep them here.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. It'd be interesting to know what everyone thinks about this one out there, because it's one of those areas that do create a lot of debate. About. I am a believer that if you can afford it, then maybe you should pay a bit, but not many people will agree with that. I think, like you've pointed out, and you've made me think about something actually. Yeah, you why should you not get it if you've put so much in?
It's the hidden taxes that we don't even think about. It's the VAT, isn't it? It's and generating income for other people, the trickle down of it. You stop it at that higher level, well, it stops for everybody.
Yeah.
And it is doing, because they are leaving.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Any news on the challenge?
Not a lot. We're on about 1,600 quid.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, as has dropped right down. In fact, I'm looking at the board over there from when we last updated ages ago, and I'm miles away. We've got about 200 and something quid. We bought bits recently that we've not been able to sell, and just struggle. But again, because we're not really putting a whole lot of time into it.
No, we're struggling with time at the minute.
But I am still absolutely determined to get it on track.
I think we're going to have a really good autumn.
Yeah. Well, I think we will. Anyway, everybody, this one's gone on long enough. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching this one. Do remember, we are probably going to be at Morrison's this Sunday doing this boot sale for a bit of fun, to try and raise a bit of money for the music licence appeal. And if you can come and support us and come and say hello to us, if we want to be on the camera, we will be filming down there for next week's podcast, and hopefully you can get involved and have a bit of fun with us down there as well. Or bring us a cup of tea or something like that, because we'll be stuck on that store, won't we?
Yeah, food.
Food, or some Jack Daniels. Listen, everybody, thank you ever so much for watching All Things Auction, the podcast with Prestige Auctions in Grimsby. So until next week, say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
And we'll see you all very soon at the auction.